If things couldn't get stranger for Nintendo as a whole, we recently just got a Treehouse Live for actually Super Mario Bros. Wonder and also Pokemon Pootopia. Now this comes in a definitely a strange environment because so far as of late you would think that Nintendo would release a Nintendo Direct. But it seems like that is no longer the case as we've been getting much different directs in a way. Now honestly, it is really cool to see some more gameplay on Pokemon Pootopia. Before you make your final decision, are you going to be picking this up or are you going to be leaving it at the store shelves? So what's going on everyone? How's your day going? Let's get straight into it. I just wanted to start this video off by saying, if I sound a little muffled or like my nose is full, that's because I came down for cold over the weekend. But honestly, it kinda sucks. But Nintendo made my day even greater by announcing a treehouse. Now I honestly like the treehouse. It makes you feel like the game is almost out. You're getting ready to pick up this game and seeing if you want to pick it up or not. Because for Pokemon Pootopia in specific, I'm right in between that phase. Am I going to pick it up or am I not going to pick it up? Because there's definitely a lot of things to be had here. There's things such as the building mechanic. There's things such as using Pokemon to do your dirty work for you. And then there's other things that you really question how much gameplay hours is there going to be or what is there to do in the first couple hours of Pokemon. Because usually with Pokemon games, the first couple hours really where the magic shines. So this is where you really got to figure that out. But what exactly does the treehouse actually do for us, or what does it represent? Now we knew that we aren't going to be getting some sort of Nintendo Direct, but what we didn't know is that we're gonna get a treehouse at some point. Now you gotta keep that in mind, because ever since the Nintendo Switch 2, Nintendo's whole direction has been definitely really strange. But with the treehouse, I think this could represent that we could actually get the Nintendo Direct on Mario Day or just sometime later in March, because that would make sense. Nintendo, here they are, just trying to push out games because why not? Maybe they do have some big announcement and they're ready to share that big announcement in March, because technically it still is the 40th anniversary of Mario, and if we were truly going to get a 3D Mario, the Direct would have to be in March at some point. Mario Day makes the most sense. But the treehouse is definitely really interesting. It came out of straight up left field. No one had leaked it. No one had talked about it. And it pretty much just says, hey, Pokemon Pootopia, we can finally see some gameplay. Mario Bros. Wonder Bell Park, we can also see some gameplay. Maybe this is Nintendo just showing, you know what guys, we're not sure if you guys actually like this sort of game, so you're gonna have an hour presentation so just you could get some information on the game, sort of like they did with Donkey Kong Bonanza, and that's pretty great. But overall, my thoughts are definitely pretty out there. They're all over the place right now. Because on one hand, you can think about it pretty much every week. We got ourselves a Nintendo Direct or something directly from Nintendo. But then on the other hand, you think about it, maybe in March, it's actually the time. First week of March, Nintendo Direct. The second week of March, Nintendo Direct. Whatever the case may be, I think something big is going to happen. I'm just saying that when we get this Nintendo Direct, it's probably going to be the biggest one that we've seen by far. I know, we've been saying this for probably the longest time, or every single time there is a Nintendo Direct, this is going to be the biggest one, this is going to be the biggest one, and all the time, or most of the time, it ends up not being the biggest one. But if you take a look at June, if you take a look at when we got ourselves the Nintendo Switch 2, or before that, when we got ourselves the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, we can probably all agree that that was honestly the greatest Nintendo Direct that we've seen in a long time, or maybe ever. Because it showed off so much things. It showed off pretty much a lot of games that we definitely would have thought actually would have existed, like Kirby Air Riders, Elden Ring, or maybe even Donkey Kong Bonanza. And straight after that Direct, we got our Treehouse Live that showed so much, which was honestly really great. So I feel like maybe this is where Nintendo is taking place. So I believe that if we don't get ourselves a Nintendo Direct in actually Mario Day, which would make sense because it's on a Tuesday, which, hey, Mario Day, Nintendo Direct, 3D Mario, makes a lot of sense in my opinion. But then you also have the ability or the factor to play in here. Is Nintendo actually going to do what they did last year? Because by now, Nintendo has to have like a buttload, like a pyramid full of games. So if that's the case, well then this pyramid full of games would really go into the idea of a Nintendo Direct coming soon. But overall, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think that Nintendo is just getting ready for Pokemon Day? Or do you think there's something truly sinister or something else going into play? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you had a fantastic rest of your day. And I'm sorry for probably not talking very clearly. Anyways, see you in the next one.